There are different parts to the bereavement program. There's the one-on-one support, there's the group support, as well as email support and telephone support.
Grief support is about listening. It's about empathy, trying to understand where the person has been, where they are now, and where they hope to go.
And she lived to be 53 and a half. But she, well, if she'd had her way, she'd have stopped a long time ago.
There's nothing worse than standing there and your friends say, oh, I know what you're going through. You don't know what we're going through. They have a husband standing there with them.
A friend of mine said that, and I said, you tell me when your husband passes and you still won't know.
The reason I came to hospice was my husband had passed away, and I realized that I needed some help, that I was confused and I felt like I was going crazy.
Last Saturday was a trigger, 1st of June, because it was a month from there that Bill passed away.
When you first come, you're kind of shy.
The grief support program starts with each person telling their story and having them come to the point where they accept the fact that their loved one has died, which is perhaps the hardest thing for them to do.
Tried making new memories, happy ones, but it still comes back to the one important thing.
And we wonder when it's going to quit. Like, when are the tears going to dry up?
Confidentiality was so important to me. Our area is a small area and you often run into other people, and it was very important to me that my thoughts and my concerns would remain in that room or with the staff working with me.
I'm not ready yet. I need my job, I need the students, I need my co-workers.
Once they can accept that, they can look at the present to determine what position they are in, how they are feeling, how they are coping with the different problems.
Tasks, starting something, and then short attention span, I guess.
Then we encourage them to look towards the future as to what they can do to help themselves.
You socialize together, you laugh, you cry together, and you get through the tough times together. So that's been my saving grace.
I found that hospice has been beneficial to me, and now I volunteer for them. And I only donate to hospice now.
Because hospice has had such a special place in my life, and I am the person I am today, I decided that I needed to help give back to say thank you to hospice for what they have done for me.
Since my husband died, it's been a difficult process. Almost 50 years of marriage, it would be now. I still think he's the finest person I've ever met in my life. And that doesn't mean that it was perfect, but I think he was as close to perfection as you can get.
Come on in. Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, Barb.
How are you?
Dorothy is one of my clients, and I started seeing Dorothy shortly after her husband had died, and it was difficult at first for Dorothy to come and build that relationship. It always takes a little bit of time. What is the hardest part of the day? Where do you miss Larry when do you miss Larry the most?
In the evening.
Yes,
and
I hear that
probably
all the time.
most women do, because they're
Yes.
working during the day. Starting out with a facilitator, getting to know each other, feeling comfortable with each other, and then really delving into how to get through life with this tragedy.
Larry died and you're still here.
It's anomaly almost, you know.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get through the sadness, so how are you?
Yes, and it's not fair.
And to deal with it, that's the really difficult part.
The grief process, I would say, takes almost 80% of their energy, of their day-to-day living. And as you continue with the support, you can see how that shifts a little bit. And instead of 80%, it might only be 50% after a few sessions. And towards the end of the visits and the support, you can see how people move away from the intense emotional feelings and shift more towards, where do I go from here? Sadness. And you're entitled to feel sad. You know, it's tragic, it's horrible, it's not fair, all of those things. So it's okay to be sad.
It's helped me because friends, I remember my mom saying, friends only want to hear you grieve for 3 months. She put a time limit on it. And I believe that's true. So I can open up and still grieve and still talk about my pain with the facilitator, and it helps so much.
As you attend to somebody, as you listen to someone and sharing in their grief journey, when you see that little bit of a shift going on, it gives you such a wonderful feeling of accomplishment and just you're feeling really good about being able to help somebody in their process.
Hospice is a registered, non-profit, charitable organization. There are no fees for our services. We rely on generous donations from our community to sustain our services.